Hello, 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 Internet. This is the Park Bench, probably number 35. I think it's number 35. Kind of lost count, but I think it's 35. The last Tuesday of January, January 27th. Which means we're like on the back half of winter, which is a beautiful thing. Not that winter's all that bad where I live, but spring's better. Spring's just better. And like, places are cold. Places are cold right now. Like, America is hit right now with like crazy cold. Like, I have people on the East Coast that are, like covered in snow. And then even Texas is covered in snow. It's crazy out there. And yeah, like Paul and I said, I'm my co-host, still traveling. Oh my God, I know the cold, 41 negative Celsius. Yeah, no. I know the cold. I don't like the cold. But Kay will be back in, I think, a month, roughly. I believe they are gone all of February, and they're back in March. Big trip for Golden Rose K. I think they're still in the Philippines, maybe on their way currently to Japan. But man, can't wait for them to come back and see them again and hear what they have to talk about. I played, and I'm going to play more later tonight, but I played for the first time the other day Baldur's Gate 3. Because it was gifted by someone to my wife. And I didn't realize how Dungeons and Dragons that game really is. Like, I've played Dungeons and Dragons before. And I've like listened and watched like Dungeons and Dragons like podcasts and stuff like that. And I know all about the video game scene in Baldur's Gate. But I knew it was Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't realize like mechanically that it's like how open it is about like, no, this is Dungeons and Dragons. You have your actions, you have your bonus actions, you have your spell slots. You need to take long rests and short rests. You know, it's crazy. It's a lot. I'm hoping to play some co-op of that later today and kind of dig into that. And then I've also still been playing the Bazaar, of course. And I want to play Highguard. We'll talk about that a little bit today, that game. Topics today, we've got the Xbox Developer Direct, which was last week, where they showed off Fable and Forza and Beasts of Reincarnation, and then a game that they didn't announce would be in the show called Kiln by Double Fine. They showed that off. And then February games. Oh no, Highguard. Sorry, Highguard. We'll talk about that and the reactions to that after it released. And then games of February. Playing a game called the Gold River Project. You know, I think I've seen other people playing that. This looks familiar. Is it a survival game? Right? Camp trip gone wrong. Oh, the harsh environments of the Pacific Northwest. That's where I am right now. I prefer games where I don't have to be a dick. That's fair. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, this looks familiar. And it does seem co-op. You know, games like this Gold River Project. Actually, is it early access? It is early access, yeah. Um I tend to have more fun when I have the option to play this game with friends. I like being able, if it's good by myself, right? If it's good by myself, I enjoy throwing other people into the mix with me. Um, and you enjoy it solo. Yeah, if it's good solo, I think it can well, you know, I was going to say it can only be better multiplayer, but I guess that's not true. It's just it could be just be a different experience altogether. Depends how it's balanced and whatnot. Um, yeah, all right, I'm going to jump into that's not what I wanted. It is co-op as well, yeah. I'm going to jump into the first thing here, the Xbox Developer Direct, which happened last week. 25th year anniversary Xbox. Happy anniversary, I guess. Stop canceling and firing your staff. Or stop canceling your games and firing your staff. But this Direct was scheduled to have 3 games: Forza, Fable, and Beast of Reincarnation. And that was already interesting because to see Fable, which, like, with Xbox recent history, and like the lack of like information coming out about Fable, people were kind of speculating that like Fable could be canceled or delayed and then delayed into cancellation, you know. So it's exciting to see it here. I'm now convinced that game is releasing. Good job, Xbox. The first they show off in this is Forza, which I'll jump into the middle of that. It's also interesting, 2 of the games that they showed off, Forza and Fable, are both Playground, you know, so that studio is busy. I'm not much of a Forza guy. I played Forza like 2, like Forza Motorsport 2. Or was it Forza Horizon 2? Horizon is more interesting to me, but I don't know if I actually played Horizon 2 or Motorsport 2. Anyway, the game's pretty. It's a card game. That's what they do. You knew it was going to look pretty. This one takes place in Japan, so you'll have like a nice, pretty Japanese landscape to drive through. It's Forza. You know, this of the games that they were going to talk about, it's the one that had me least excited. However, there is, I'm sure, a very dedicated fan base who was either very excited or very upset about what they saw from this. The one thing that they teased at the end that I could understand. Let's see if I can get to it. Let's see. Hold on. Boop, boop. At the end here, so they talk about the game and its progression and its modes and whatnot, and then at the very, very end, they tease what appears to be a Gundam. So I don't I don't know what that exactly is supposed to insinuate. Will you be piloting and racing Gundams in giant mechs in Forza? This one though, let's just, this one had me very interested. Game Freak. We saw this game revealed before, Beast of Reincarnation, by Game Freak. If you don't know who Game Freak is, they're the people who make Pokemon for Nintendo. And actually during this this event, I was curious if they would mention Pokemon at all. Because it's an Xbox Direct. I was like, they might not want them saying Pokemon in here. But no, bam. In addition to the Pokemon video game series, we do make other games, is basically what he says here. And they do mention like I think every different like person from the studio that they show mentions Pokemon. Like I was skeptical they would say Pokemon at all. They kept saying Pokemon. They kept reminding people we made Pokemon, and Pokemon. We did this for Pokemon. But yeah, this game. He mentioned they've made other games than just other than Pokemon. Typically those games have been smaller scaled, I'll say. Almost seeming like side projects. And then sometimes like side projects that like got a little more ambitious. And none of their games really got that big critically, you know, no big critical appeal to most other Game Freak games. Pocket Card Jockey has like a little cult fan base. Tembo the Badass Elephant was like a pretty decent side-scrolling action game. But nothing really blew up much attention. This game easily looks like their most ambitious game. Even like next to Pokemon, like none of their other games ever looked like a full AAA game. This looks much closer to like a large like studio game. And it's I don't know how to feel. I don't know how this company works. I don't know how many people work there. Obviously, this game is like 900 times prettier than Pokemon is. Granted, this doesn't come out on a Nintendo console. It comes out on PC, Xbox, PlayStation 5. So like it has higher like performing hardware to use. The Switch isn't that bad, where like the Pokemon games should have as much trouble as they do have. But like people are going to ask and wonder like, hey, is this why the Pokemon games have kind of struggled recently? Because like the team was also dedicating themselves to like their own original game and putting more time and effort into this than they were into Pokemon. You never know. I don't know how big this is. I don't know if there's different teams at Game Freak working on different things, but I think it's exciting to see this look like a good game. They show off some combat in the game, which I thought was interesting because you have two characters. You have Emma. I like that the women dev that are dressed like my granny. That lady looked very cozy in that big sweater. She looked very comfortable. But Emma and Ku, those are your main characters. Emma is the girl that you play as. Ku is the Malefact, which is like a animal plant creature. Um, and a lot of this game is about the Malefacts being like evil or whatever, but Ku is your sidekick. They're your companion dog. And I thought the combat was interesting that they show off because, Ku and Emma kind of bounce off of each other on like what they can do. Like Ku does this, which affects Emma and allows her to do that, and Emma doing this allows Ku to do this. The elements sync together, but they control differently. Where like Emma looks like a traditional, just like action RPG Dark Souls kind of combat, almost like New Horizon Japan style. It kind of is like, that's kind of what it reminds me of, which is like some of the things that I'd seen people talking about this is like the setting isn't too creative. This takes place in Japan in the year 4046, so 2000 years in the future. I don't know what year Horizon takes place, but like if you put Horizon and this game next to each other, Horizon is robot animals. This game is plant animals, and like both in like post-apocalyptic futures. So I'm not upset. It's not. I don't think it's like too played out. I still think it looks neat. Lots of comments about how many grass type animals are in here and how weak they are to fire. Like this big, and just like, could this be a Pokemon? Could this big flower bear have been a Pokemon design that was like not accepted, and so they put it in this game? Maybe big grass type Urshifu. I don't know. I do like games that remind me of picking weeds from the garden. Dude, don't even remind me of Viva Pinata. We need a Viva Pinata. Yeah, the combat in this, Emma is kind of like a Dark Souls or Neo. Typical action RPG. Dodge rolls, parries, fast melee combat. Ku, your dog, controls more similarly to like Final Fantasy VII Remake / Rebirth, with its like command list. Like they'll show it at some like right, kind of right here. Yeah. It almost is like reminiscent of like new age turn-based stuff. A woman and her loving dog, yeah. And so I think that's cool. I think it helps open up some like expression for how you want to play the game. Whether you want to be like just like heavily based in Emma's combat, or if you want to use a lot of Ku with his almost like turn-based command list style, or probably the most effective way is just using both. And other than that, for the combat, one of the things that interested me was one of the leads on this game is a former like lead battle designer in Pokemon. And so that's kind of cool because like in my mind I just think like, oh, that guy has like done a lot of time and work in combat systems. Granted, nothing has been real time like this. But even still, just like the concepts I think are there. It's not something I would spend money on but this will cost the shirt off your back. I don't know if they talk about the price, but I do imagine that this game is at least a $70 game, right? Just after what I've seen from this, I don't think that this is like a $40 game, which again, that's kind of like what Game Freak has done in the past. Like their other games have been more like not quite budget, but like that like mid-level game. And it looks like they're putting more into this, so I can only imagine this is going to be like a $70-$80 game, the new unfortunate standard. But yeah, I think this looks solid. I'm excited for Game Freak. After that, which is coming up right now, we got a Beast of Reincarnation, Game Freak, summer release. No price or anything on here, of course. But after that, you know, here were the 3 games they announced. And you got this little surprise here. And I thought this was like a fun surprise, which is kind of like what Double Fine is known for. It's just kind of like silly fun. I think the issue a lot of times with Double Fine is their games have charm, are funny or whimsical, but turn out to not be all that fun. Psychonauts is obviously like a big hit. And then their new game, Keeper, was like highly praised. But a lot of their other games are just kind of like neat for a little bit. And I'm worried this is just going to fall straight into that. But as he was just discussing it, this game came out of essentially a game jam that they run. What he was just saying is they run other game jams in the past that they call Amnesia Fortnite, because not like Fortnite the game, but like an actual Fortnite 2 weeks, where they just like forget about the current major project they're working on, and then everybody just pitches new stuff and makes new stuff for 2 weeks. And then the winner they make a game for. And this game is called Kiln, where you will take some clay, you're gonna mold your pottery. Yeah, yep. Hold on. I wish I could see more. So right in here, you have your controls to basically make different types of pottery, of different sizes. The size and type of pottery you make is your class of character you're making. So you can make a small, medium, or large cup, vase, bowl, and whatever else. And that itself is looks neat. Just like sculpting the pottery, it looks like something that some people would just enjoy just doing this, and just like being creative and making these different things, and then painting and glazing them, you know. And you can see it in the top right over here, it tells you what you're making: medium, square, cup. And then when you like a big thick bowl as well, you know, big thick bowl, big thick cup. But that's your class getting into the game, and it affects how your character moves, its abilities, everything it can do. So the goal in their game mode, it's 4v4, and you run around the map picking up water. And is the dev mentally stable? No, it's great. They're insane. Tim Schafer is very good. But you pick up water and you throw it into your opponent's kiln, trying to douse their kiln, basically. If you can get enough water in their kiln, put out the fire, your team wins. So you'll be running around the map, picking up picking up water, and also fighting the other team's pottery, trying to smash them, and defend your own pottery. It's like it's a very interesting, like almost like reminds me of like a MOBA, but not a MOBA at all. Like there is a map or different maps. There's no creep or anything like that, but you're still like trying to like, or yeah, you're just trying to infiltrate your enemy's base and put out their fire. It is sponsored by the Pottery Barn. But you can see like a little bit in the gameplay, and they talk about it if you watch the video. Like depending on what type of vase you are, you will be able to hold more water, or you might be able to run faster or attack differently. You'll have different types of special attacks based on what you are. The map is reactive to things you do, so you can like they just did there. They used a little bit of their water to essentially make a wall. They like inflated a sponge warrior and it became a wall. It looks cute. It sounds neat and fun. It's the League of Pottery of Legends. One of those two. I don't know how much leg this game has. Like I said at the top, it's a Double Fine game. A lot of times their games are like cute and charming and neat and creative. They just don't end up being fun for very long. I think something that this has going for it though is like the actual like making the pottery itself looks very like casual and like almost has that same feeling of like Power Wash Simulator, of just like cleaning up something and like making just what you like, that same sort of like satisfaction. And if you don't want to play like the battle game mode, you don't have to. You can just make pottery and just like have that be like cathartic for you. But this was a surprise one. I would recommend looking into it. Actually, hold on, let's go back to that a little bit. You can see here a little more that I've seen now. You have your hands that you can control to sculpt it in a way that you want. Different options, reset, use a sponge to like put different textures on it or whatnot. It shows it's a medium vessel, the shape that you're creating, the ability that it will have based on all of these conditions, and then its capacity of water, how much water it can hold. So that's the thing. Is this sculpting PG rated? There's a lot of games with like customization that have, oh my gosh, I wish I could remember the exact term. It's like TTP, time to penis. And that's just basically how fast it is for its users to just create penises. And this has to be potentially the fastest and most like detailed way. there's going to be a lot of penises or just bongs. People are 100% just going to make bongs or penis bongs in this game. I don't know how you stop that. I don't think you can. I don't think you can stop people from figuring out how to mold a penis. And I'm sure they know. They're not like they're not new to this. They know that people are going to make penises. Like, I mean, at the beginning of this, when the lady's actually sculpting, like just watching people do this type of stuff, it's a little bit more here. Like, instantly people are thinking dick. Bam. There it is. Yeah, no. This comes out. When does this come out? It says large vase. Blah blah blah. Oh, that's Fable. That's next. Comes out in spring. Spring. No official release date, just spring. It's the only one. Or I mean, Forza was the only game in this showcase that had an actual release date of May. Everything else is summer, spring, and then I think Fable is fall. And I'm not a Fable guy. In the spring, you can make your own dicks and bongs and then use it to go smash other players' dicks. And then spew water out of the end of your penis vase into the other player's kiln. It's gonna be a lot of fun to play with friends. But yeah, I'm not a Fable guy, or I wasn't a Fable guy. I talked about it before. I played the original Fable and loved it until I beat it because I was not ready for it to end. It was just like too short, and I was like so upset when it ended. And that killed Fable 2 and 3 for me. Didn't play them. I heard how awesome Fable 2 was, but I just like held this grudge against Fable. And then Fable 3 I've heard okay things about. But I'm rooting for this Fable. I really want this Fable to be good. I think for, that grudge I had against the first one, I think Fable is like a important game for Xbox. It looks pretty good graphically. There are some like textures and stuff that like at first I was like, this looks weird. But then the more I watched of this, the more I thought that this game looks like Shrek. Which is fitting because Shrek is like a world of fables and fairy tales, right? And this just kind of reminded me of that. So I think, it works. It's a good design choice. And it looks pretty, one thing that I saw discussed about this game was comparing this to the example I saw, Rise. It's like Rise Roman Empire or whatever. It was like an Xbox 360 game or an Xbox One game, I think. It's like a launch Xbox One game. And they were trying to compare how good looking that game was and how this like barely looks any better. And one of the hard things when you're showing off games like this is that game Rise, all of the lighting, it was a good looking game, but all of the lighting is it's just every scene is lit how they want it to be lit, like Like the world isn't moving, time's not passing. They make the game, they make every scene look cinematic, whereas this game has like the day night cycle. So you never have, or you'll very rarely have that like uh perfectly lit scene. Um so some, sometimes screenshots or videos of this game that I've seen don't look as good as I think the game really is. And it's because of the lighting. And it was just something that I thought about, where it's like there's going to be parts where it's like a little dark on different parts of the character or the world, and it's just the nature of the light. But you can see uh chickens are in this game. So they they're going full Fable. Um the living world with like the day night cycle. They mention how you can follow around every character for a full day and see all the stuff that they do because they're like alive and are active in the world. Um and then it has like the British humor with the chickens. And I, as a grown man, I did always have a dream of playing a little girl running away from the old guy's Fable. Let me live out my dream. I'm happy for you that you were able to fulfill that fantasy of yours. Um, but yeah, it's its combat looks solid. Like that hammer looks heavy. The way that they're swinging it and the way it makes contact, it looks heavy. It looks pretty satisfying. Um, I think some of the other stuff that they do in this game as an evolution of the old Fables is like how the world reacts to you and your actions, which isn't new. Games have been doing it forever. Fable did it. But one of the things that you could do in Fable before, and a bunch of other games, is you can buy property, right? You can buy property and buy houses and have like a house in every town. So that way, when you go to that town, you have a place to go and do whatever there. And that's like, I think you've seen that in like Assassin's Creed's, Fable, a lot of these like fantasy RPGs, or even like, I think like Mass Effect had stuff like that. Um, Fallout, like it's not a new thing in games, right? But with this game wanting the world to react to like your actions and whatnot, um, one of the things they show is if you own a lot of houses, people know you're rich, and so they'll react to you in different ways. It's what they're starting to show here. So like, I think it's like property mogul or something like that, and like you'll go up to people and be like, "Yeah, no, you're rich. We get it. What do you want?" um, and like stuff like that is just like that little bit of extra layer. Um, that I think like helps give a game like charm. Let's see if they show it here. I forget where it is, but yeah, when you're talking to people, they show like the influences that you get from your actions and like why they're reacting you in certain ways. Uh, they also show in this the an artistic commenter, yeah, dislikes you because you evicted them. So that's this person's motivations. They think you are heartless. Like stuff like this is fun and funny. Um, Chicken Chaser, the classic. But the giant, they show off the giant in this. Eventually, we'll get to it. Right here. You see this giant played by, oh my gosh, what is his name? Something IoT, guy from the IT crowd. and other things. They showed this giant in like one of the last things. And they talk about it a little more here in his story. About how he was like a scientist or something. And he did this to himself, basically. Like he wasn't born a giant. I believe he like became one with like an experiment. And your interactions and like the quests you take with him affects more than just like how people see you, but how the world like shapes. Because one of the things you can do with this giant is you can kill him. So now this town just has this like giant dead corpse here. And what does that do? It affects rent, that's for sure. And like that's not even a joke. That's like what they say. They're like property prices are affected because like there's just a dead giant here. So that's another little bit of extra like your actions matter kind of thing, which again, games have been doing forever, but it really seems like a refocus that they're doing to like push that a little bit further. And like I said, the combat also looked good, so I'm excited for that. I think the direct itself was solid. These directs usually do pretty well for me. It's not a lot of games, but it's very focused and you get a lot of information. So I'm glad we learned a lot about Beast of Reincarnation. Because I was skeptical about it, but now I think that game looks like a real solid game. Love seeing Fable, what it's doing. Don't really care about Forza. Happy for those people. And then excited to see Kiln. Next up, Highguard. I've been talking about Highguard for weeks. Highguard was announced at the Game Awards. This was its launch trailer. It was the one last thing, the final reveal at the Game Awards, which is usually reserved for things that are like really big and important. And this was it. And people were less than excited about that. Oh, this actually isn't the trailer that they showed at the Game Awards. This is a different trailer because this actually shows more stuff. This is probably just like a launch trailer. But people didn't quite know what the game was. There was a lot of like generic stuff that they didn't quite understand, like why it's exciting. And then, you know, they were like, it's coming out in 6 weeks. And then they went 6 weeks without saying a word. Until I think it was Friday. The game released yesterday on a Monday. 3 days before is when they were finally like, hey, get ready. Release it on Monday. And that's all it was. And they've had a like influencer event where they invited people to come see the game, play the game in like an event where some people, they paid for their like flights and stays or whatever. Some people were able to go because they just lived in the area. But there was an embargo. Nobody could really talk about the game until Monday. Even if they played it, they were just kind of like, get ready. I have things to say. And a lot of the people that I saw invited were like Apex content creators, which makes sense because this new studio is a lot of ex developers who made Apex. And you can kind of really see it in the UI specifically. Like, I think this UI straight up looks like Apex, like even like with the shapes and everything that it uses. It's straight up Apex. But we finally learned what this game was. Through like I don't know, an hour-long event. Hello, you're just in time for me to talk about Highguard, which is what I said we should play. So Highguard, yeah, it went six weeks from announcement to absolutely nothing to released. And one thing that I thought was interesting about its like lead up to its release is the studio making this didn't want to announce it at all. They just wanted Monday to come along and just be like, hey, here's our new game. And just have it be like a shadow drop. But the creator of the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley, saw the game and was like, no, you got to put it in my show. So they did. They were like, yeah, fine. We'll just put it in the show. And then not say anything about it. And then Jeff Keighley decided to put it as like the last reveal. Which honestly might have been the worst thing for this game. Because like it built an amount of excitement that I don't think the team planned for. And not quite excitement, but like expectation. Built a bunch of expectation. But anyway, this game 3v3, which is another kind of like Apex thing, like the 3-player teams, but this is only 3v3. It's not a battle royale. 3v3. You and your team play against one other 3v3 or one other team of 3 on a giant map. And your team at the beginning votes on which base you want. You get an option of 4. I think there's like 8 or something total in the game, and they'll keep adding more. But you'll get like a random option of some of them to choose from, and that's your base this match. And the different bases have different layouts, so they will be, you know, it's kind of like, you know, different maps in like Call of Duty or Halo or something, where like each base plays to different strengths and weaknesses. There might be some bases that are, you know, strong for snipers or close quarters, stuff like that. So you'll vote how you want your base, because the point of the game is to protect your base and destroy the other players. And basically, this game has phases. You start off, you and your team, you go, you collect resources, you get money. You're basically looting. You go, you start the game looting and powering up. And then the defensive phase. You can also like kind of, there's a lot of like ideas from a lot of game modes and games in this that they just kind of mash together. So you start out getting your kit together, getting your loot, putting up defensive structures in your base, reinforcing walls like in Siege, because this game has a lot of destruction. Like when you raid an enemy's base, you can destroy walls and all kinds of stuff. You can destroy trees out in the world. It's a lot of destruction. So you'll build up your defenses, and then you want to go out, collect resources for money to buy new gear, or to just loot chests for like a chance at random gear, which again looks very Apex, the way that the stuff pops out in the colors. You have mounts that you will ride on, because again, the map is big. So you'll need to run around the map on your mount. You can mount on like a bear. Hi, Jay. A horse, panther, and they have plans for more types of mounts. Eventually, after you're done looting and all that stuff, the objective starts, where it's this big sword. They call it the Shield Breaker, which you can see right there on the screen. You get the shield breaker and you bring it to your enemy's base, which has a big force field around it. If you get the sword to their base, you break open their shield, a big battering ram thing spawns outside their base, punches open their shield, and you can infiltrate their base. So that right there reminds me of like Halo's like assault game mode, where it's like you grab the bomb in the middle of the map and you plant it in the enemy's base, right? After you bring this to the enemy's base and you start raiding it. And there are 3 points. It's a lot and it's confusing. And the video isn't synced with what I'm saying. But like, you get the sword, you bring it to their base, and there are 3 points in their base for you to attack. There's like 2 minor spots and then a major spot. And each base has health. If you successfully raid a base, it does damage. If you go to one of these minor spots, you plant a bomb, protect it, and it blows up, you deal damage. If you're able to get to the major point and plant a bomb, you just win. And you can see at the top here, blue team, your base. Can other teams see when you get the sword? Yes. So one team has 70 health on their base, the other team has 100. And it tells you when the other team has the sword. So like if they get to the sword before you, and like you don't actually see them acquire the sword, it'll tell you. So you know. It tells you when it spawns. It tells you where it spawns, so you know where to go. It spawns in random places. I think there's like 3 places on each map where it can spawn, and it tells you when it's going to spawn there, so you can get there to fight for it. But if not, it tells you that they have it and to defend it. And then if you kill the person who has the sword, you can pick it up and then bring it to the enemy base. But yeah, when raid starts, 30 damage is dealt to the base. If you plant a bomb on one of the minor things, it deals 35. If you plant it on the major one, it deals 100. And then if the raid is successfully defended, the other team's base basically gets damaged. So like, you raid the base, you deal 30 points to them. If they defend it and you don't get anything, they deal 30 to you. So no matter what, there's damage being dealt and the game is constantly moving. That way it doesn't take forever. The way they explained it for like the time is a quick game can take about 8 minutes. A long game is like 25 to 30 minutes. If you go through like every round where it's like back and forth, it's just like they raid you, but you defend it. You raid them, but they defend it. And it goes back and forth like that. Or you just get in, you plant a bomb at this major point, blow it up, you win. 8 minutes. It's hero based. You can choose one of 8 heroes right now, which all have different abilities. There are different sorts of weapons for you to pick up, different sort of raid weapons that you can equip. Jinxie stole all viewers. Is Jinxie playing it? I bet he is. That's the thing. All right, so I'll get into that. That's how the game plays, basically. And it's free. From the reactions to this game, a lot of people are not into it. They don't like it. A lot of people think it's okay. For the people who say they don't like it, I guess a lot of the problems was like its performance, where it like felt laggy or it just wasn't working well with their computer. That's a lot of the complaints. And I think that is fixable. Like the devs can get those like bug reports and fix that stuff, which is good. The other thing that people are, yeah, exactly. Opening day. I can't believe Jinxie is stealing your views, man. I know. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. But yeah, a lot of creators played this. Most of what I've seen, they think it's okay. Maybe it needs a little work. It's 3v3, and other than like performance issues with people being like, this didn't work or that didn't work with it, the main thing I see is that it's only 3 versus 3. A lot of people are like, the map is too big for teams of 3. Let me see if I can find it, but they have a roadmap. I think it looks fun, heavy strategy based. Another thing I keep hearing people say about this game mode is it's sweaty, or not this game mode, but this game, is that it's a sweaty game. It is not for like casuals. It is for people who want like a sweaty competitive like experience. Like that's how it feels. Highguard roadmap. So here's their roadmap. I want to get the sniper on the mount. Yeah. This is their launch content. Day 1, there's 5 different maps and 6 different bases. So you'll spawn on a map, one of 5 random maps, and then both teams will each choose one of 6 different bases. So there's kind of like this mixing and matching going on, so that every game like feels a little different with like the areas you're going to play on. You might play on like the frozen map. One team has the frozen base and the other team has the sand base or something, or the mossy base, whatever, you know. There's kind of like this plug and play for the map, where the map is always like a little bit different because of that. The heroes are called wardens. So there's 8 different characters you can play as, 3 different mounts, the horse, the panther, the bear, and then 10 different weapons that you can play and find, 3 different raid tools, which are like the base destructive stuff, rocket launchers and stuff like that. And then also the guns all have mods and attachments for them. So there are 10 weapons, but you can also do different modifications for them. And this is day 1. I bet esports. I bet esports too, Jay. I bet esports too. That's day 1 content. How do I get back? So that's what we can play with right now. 8 characters, 5 mats, 6 spaces, 3 mounts. They have a year-long plan. January, episode 1 is the launch. Episode 2, all these episodes are 2 parts, which is just a different month. And every month has something. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. There's something happening every month. So they said in 2 weeks in February. Yeah, you can give that to me. Give me that. In 2 weeks, it's going to be a new warden, a new map, ranked, and a new mount. Part 2 in March, you're going to get a new base and a new raid tool. And that just keeps happening every month. New character, new weapon, new mods, new base, new loot, new amulets. Like every couple weeks is a couple new things that they're adding. So I'm interested to see where this game is in like the summer and then December, since they already have that. Yeah, I'm gonna download it after this. Tara and I are gonna play, I think, Baldur's Gate. I couldn't remember the name. We're gonna play Baldur's Gate 2, I think, at some point. Yeah, Tiana, this is my high guard thing. I'm done with high guard. What's your off-topic game question? Where's the last thing? Bam. This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about. What is your opinion on Crimson Desert? Crimson Desert, I think it's like the Korean MMO, right? I mean, it's it's upcoming open world action adventure game, Pearl Abyss. Is it upcoming still? It's been early access for a while. From what I know about it, it's pretty. It's a very pretty game. Can we play at 7 p.m.? 7 p.m. What, your time or my time? I don't know yet, Jay. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Is it like Elden Ring? Not that I'm aware of. Hold on, let me see. I've seen some stuff about this. Most of it is just how pretty it is. I guess I don't know. What do you mean by Elden Ring? Like a Souls-like an open world Souls game? I don't think it's like that. I think it's more like I don't think it's ball crushingly hard. I think it's more like, I guess, like The Witcher or something, you know? Like a more standard action RPG. I don't think this is supposed to be like a hard. I don't think the difficulty is like an aspect of its appeal like Elden Ring. From what I know, I guess I don't know as much. Release date in March. Man, I could have swore this game came out, but maybe it's just been early access stuff. Yeah. You think Martin might like? Yeah, probably. The thing that I know most about it is that it's very pretty. That, like, this is a shitty video. Oh, there we go. It got better. But yeah, the way that this was like introduced and brought to me a while ago was just like, look how pretty this game is. You want to run a couple Fortnite later? We'll see. We'll see. I do want to play again. Baldur's Gate with waifu. She's excited for it, and I'm excited for it. Yeah, this does look really pretty though. Like, look at those explosions. Also, wait a second. What the heck was that? What are we doing? Freaking mechs shooting rocket launchers in this game? Baldur's Gate's multiplayer, yeah. Co-op multiplayer. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. I think this looks like a pretty good game. Last thing that I want to talk about really quickly and show off was just the games that are coming out this month. Because February is kind of big. We have Neo 3 coming out, which is, this is kind of like the feudal Japan version of like a Dark Souls. Of all like the Dark Souls games, this is one of like the more popular one that isn't Dark Souls, or this series at least. Do you think PvP sometime soon? PvP what? Romeo's Dead Man is coming out. This game just looks weird as heck. It's by a weird studio. So yeah, I have tried Neo 2. Yeah, the third one's coming out. Apparently. See ya, Polar. The game we just played. Oh, Highguard? Highguard's PvP. Yeah. It's 2 teams, 3-on-3. Mario Tennis. is out in February. This game Reanimal is out in February. This is the new like 2-player game by the people who made Little Nightmares. If you liked Little Nightmares, this is their new game, except like 3D, not just like side scrolling. But yeah, it's like a 3D world. Halfway done, loving it. I played some of the first one. It's cool. I just love the atmosphere of those games and like the world. It's very creepy, but like, yeah, I like the way it looks. But Reanimal is their new game. So actually, the way it works is that development team made Little Nightmares, and then they made Little Nightmares 2, and then Little Nightmares 3 is actually different people. Oh, Crimson Desert? I don't know if Crimson Desert is. I thought it was an MMO, but I guess not. I think it's just one player. Single player. Yeah, Crimson Desert is just single player. I thought it was an MMO, but I'm thinking of something different maybe. Like not Same Little Raincoat Girl. No, like the team who made the game is different. So like Tarsier Studios made Little Nightmares 1 and 2. And then yeah, like you can see this is their games. And they made this game Tearaway. In Little Big Planet on the PS Vita. But yeah, they didn't make 3. For whatever reason, a different team made 3. So then these guys were like, all right, well then we're gonna make our new game, Reanimal. And so if you're going through 1, 2, and 3, and you get to 3 and it feels different, that's why. It's different people. High on Life 2 is out in February. And then the new Resident Evil Requiem is out in February. It's kind of what I mean, like February's kind of packed. And then also, this is just like their curated things. Like there's like a million other games coming out, but man, I love Terraria fishing. What else do I have here? I had some other games written down that are coming out. Yap Yap. Yap Yap is out. Where is Yap Yap? It's down here somewhere. That's the first one I had. When I get the... Oh, wait, this is the wrong month. That's why I'm not seeing it. February. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yap Yap is out. Officially. This game is goofy, fun, friend slop. You want to think of something like Lethal Company, Repo, stuff like that, except you are little wizards and you have to say your spells out loud. All your spells are like things you say. And your goal is to like get into these castles and destroy shit with all your spells. Dragon Quest VII remake is out. It does sound hilarious. It looks funny. This is a PlayStation 1 game that I loved, and now it looks really pretty, so that's cool. Let's see, hold on. There was a few other things. Tackle for Loss. This game, there's a game that I loved called Hotline Miami. Look at Book Thief on Steam. Okay. But this looks like Hotline Miami, but football for some reason. Book Thief. Did you see Book Thief on here? Hold on, let me open this in a new tab, Jay. Book Thief Steam. Oh, yeah. Bookwalker? Boot. Oh man. Blood Thief. Blood Thief. Blood Thief. Well, this game. Oh yeah. You have played this, Jay, and I've seen you play this. Um, he's crashing out about autocorrect. Um, I do think this is a neat looking game and idea. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure you've played this, Jay. I've seen you playing it. Yeah, I think this is cool. It's very fast. Uh, not quite like Auto Runner, but I'm trying to compare it to something else. Ghost Runner, maybe? How you spell it? Ghost Runner. Kind of like Ghost Runner is kind of what it reminds me of. I'm not hitting autocorrect. Sometimes that's why it's autocorrect. It's just auto does it. You don't have to hit it. That's why it's auto. Giving Temple Run. It's like kinda it's like Temple Run, but with swords and a lot of blood. I'll say that. Sure. um I'm gonna scroll through this. Yeah, that. Was there anything else that I said here? Mugenics, Romeo's Dead, Mario Tennis, High on Life, Demon Tides, Super Battle Golf, and Resident Evil. Yeah, so just about all of it. Mugenics, this is I briefly talked about this, Tiana. This is the game. It's by the guy who made Binding of Isaac. And it's the one where you like have cats and you send them out on adventures and battles, and then they come back and you breed your cats and you get new cats. Mm-hmm. The cat breeding game. Yeah. That's coming out. That'll probably be good. Remy's Dead. Bonnie Bear Saves Frog Time. Mario Tennis. There's High on Life. Reanimal. Just Another Boomer Shooter. I forget what I said already. Was coming out. There was one. Oh, Demon Tides. I think Demon Tides looks fun. Uh, people call it if Ghost Runner 3 is coming out. I don't think I've heard of Ghost Runner 3. Yeah, Ghost Runner. Wait, did Ghost Runner 2 come out? Yeah, Ghost Runner 2 came out in 2023. So, like, honestly, Ghost Runner 3 is like possible. Developers indicate they currently have no plans for it. They're focusing on projects like Project Cyber Slash, a potential co-op Ghost Runner like game. Oh yeah, and then Valor Mortis. They're making this game. Valor Mortis is like first person Dark Souls in like a like Napoleon Army thing, man. Yeah, they're making like a Dark Souls game, but it's first person instead of like third person. Like most of them are third person. This is first person and kind of like yeah, it said like Napoleon era, the Napoleon War. So it's like swords and guns, you know. This time frame. And similarly to like Elden Ring and Dark Souls and stuff like that. It's got a lot of gross monsters in it. It's very graphic. Like, hold on, I'm trying to get to it. Yeah. Here we go. But I don't know of any other like Souls-like games. I'm a gross monster, so true. That's what I've always said about you. I've never seen like a Souls-like game that is in first person. They're always like third-person action games. So it'll be interesting to see like how different it feels being in first person. Zombies scare you, Sometimes I'm a zombie. So yeah, look at that. A lot of blood, a lot of gross, yucky. Genuinely. Zombies scare you, or genuinely I'm a zombie sometimes. But yeah, Ghost Runner people are making this. So both. Thank you. I wonder if there are other games on here. No, they're like Project whatever. But yeah, anyway. Oh yeah, Demon Tides. That's coming out too. People call that movement slop. It's kind of like it's a 3D platformer, basically. That's what this game is. Yeah. You're grinding Call of Duty. Slop is a fun word. Slop it was Merriam-Webster word of the year for 2025. The dictionary. Slop word of the year. Merriam-Webster named slop its 2025 word of the year. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, hold on. That was the other one that I want to show, which is also slop. Super Battle Golf. That's out this month. This is how do I explain this? It's friend slop, but you're playing golf. Kinda. And it's like real time. It's not like taking turns or anything like that. Look like Peak. Everything about this looks like Peak. Like when they announced it, hold on, let me show you. If you've seen Peak, I'll look up Super Battle Golf. If you've seen Peak's like videos on TikTok like that they make, where it's like they're talking in the game about like the update, that's what they do in this. I wish I could figure out how to show that to you easier. Maybe on Steam. But like they do that same thing where they're like in game, and when you talk, the player's mouth talks, and that's how like they announce stuff. Wait a minute, where's my voice? It's not on right now because I forgot to open it. That's why. But I'm gonna, yeah, I'll give you your voice first. Oh, that's the wrong thing. I'll give you your voice for a second, and then I'm gonna go kiss my wife. Downloading update. Downloading update. You know what? Mama Sleeping Angels. Wow, that looks good. Can I have one? I don't. No, I thought you did have one. You can't keep me in a cage. I can't do anything with voices right now. Stall on exit. Connect? Yes, you can. Jay, you'll always have a voice, you know? Don't let anyone ever say. You can't. Oh, wait. Yes, you can keep Tiana in a cage. Yeah, probably.
The people want voices.
The people do want voices. They always do. I don't freaking know. I got a lot of work to do voices, Jay. Listen, all right? Because Tiana always wants her voice changed.
My voice needs an upgrade.
See? See what I'm saying? I don't know what this is. I don't care. This is Wolfenstein. Yes. No. It's...
I want a scary voice frown.
What a scare. I was going to give you like a little goblin voice. Jaden's catchphrase is it's not fair. Yeah, that's that age. Either things are cheap or not fair.
He's crashing out again.
This is not chivalry, but just use her real voice. So there are like AI voices that you can train with people's real voices, and we did that with Tara once, but
I'm sad.
I couldn't figure out a way to like use it in the program without at least like spending money like monthly for it. It's goblin enough.
EU.
I don't want to do this. Wizard of Legend. Whoa! I was not prepared for that. I don't know what game this is.
TITTS.
What game do you think this is? I can't tell. Bro, what is this armor?
Boob Wars.
Boob Wars. Boob. Nope, not Boob Wars. I'll type in Wars and just, Wars and Warriors, Joan of Arc. That's obviously Joan of Arc.
Drats.
That's Joan. That's her famous war attire. And then that's Genghis Khan, so I don't know what we missed out on here.
War boobs.
There's no boobs. Boobs? Nope. Gauntlet. Not Gauntlet. Guess. What the heck is this? I'm going to say The Legend. Not the Legend of Zelda. So it's not The Legend. I thought it would be like The Legend of R. The R. It's not the Artful. It's not any of these. I don't know what this freaking thing is. Skip. Tell me what it is. Oh, it's the Elder Scrolls Arena. It's the very first Elder Scrolls game.
No shit.
Yep. The very first Elder Scrolls. People forget that there was Elder Scrolls before Oblivion and Morrowind. Wow, this video is
so
bad.
good.
Looks so good. I really love that lady that they keep showing in the clouds. This video quality is trash. All right, artwork. Hand signal right here, buddy. What? This is
RV there yet?
RV there yet? Guess. Ooh, that was a good guess. It's not. Oh, it's Crash. It's Crash Bandicoot. Is it just like Crash Team Racing?
Sneaky fucked.
Yep. Crash Team Racing. Saw that reflection. Like Goober's eyeballs. Character. This is Alolan Ninetales. Nailed it.
Sniped.
I'm not sniping Pokemon. Snow, PvPvE, looting. PvPvE and looting in the snow? Arc Raiders. I don't know.
Ooh.
Not Arc Raiders. Refunds. Zombies and crafting. Snow zombies. Refunds is weird. Is it like the Hunt Showdown isn't in the snow?
Zombies. Flushed face emoji.
That's true. Don't look. You're scared of zombies. PvPvE looting refunds. Is it like DayZ?
I'm triggered.
It's not DayZ. Controversy. Post-apocalyptic New York.
Martin say COD.
But what? Because I don't think it's the zombie mode in COD. Because COD isn't PvP. VE. It's just PvE. It's like co-op. This is player versus enemies versus AI. New York post-apocalyptic with zombies. Looting, crafting, refunds, controversy. I don't freaking know.
Refunds. Maybe the game
That's
sucks.
what I'm thinking. Like, it was like heavily refunded and because there was some sort of controversy. Dead by Daylight. I don't. No. Dead by Daylight is like asymmetrical PvP.
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead is PvP or just PvE. But there's no PvPvE. Like, it's not two teams of players and also other AI enemies that they're fighting. Left 4 Dead is either co-op, humans versus zombies, or PvP, humans
true.
versus zombies. Crafting, post-apocalyptic New York. The PvPvE is killing me. That's usually like an extraction shooter type thing. It's not Tarkov, because Tarkov's not New York. Tarkov's Russia. That's why I said like Arc Raiders. Snow. Zombies. Refunds. Not H1Z1, I don't think.
Helldivers Ike.
Not Helldivers, that's just co-op. Helldivers good. And it's not zombies. Helldivers is like alien bugs and alien machines. Also not New York. Definitely not New York. Space.
Do we get more clues?
Yeah, I'll skip. More clues. Safe Hub, online only MMO survival. So I said DayZ. DayZ's like. Oh wait.
What is MMO?
Massive multiplayer online. World of Warcraft. I think it's Perfect World. It's not Perfect World. Base building, fake trailers, abandoned city. Damn, this sounds
Midnight
terrible.
Walkers. Martin say.
Midnight. There's the Midnight Walk. I don't see Midnight Walkers. I only see that, if that's what you think. Fake trailers, base building. I feel like I've heard of this game. If there's a controversy, I'm sure I've heard of it. I'm just gonna say Midnight Walk. I don't think that's what it is, because I think the Midnight Walk is a single player game that looks cute and spooky. Oh, Midnight Walkers. There's that. That is PvPvE zombie extraction game, but it's not in here. Unless it's not the
Smart man.
But like Midnight Walk. Yeah, it's this game. This game looks cute as heck. Cute, spooky. It's like claymation. See, kind of like Tim Burton-y, like.
Oh, I want to play that.
Yeah. That's what this game is. But it's in VR also. Oh, 7 Days to Die? Maybe. I don't know enough about it, but I'll guess that. Yeah, this is the Midnight Walk, though. VR and not VR.
I love it.
7 Days to Die. I don't think this is it, but I'm going to do it. Nope. There's the cover art. All right. Server shut down, extraction zones, scam accusations, inventory management, studio shut down on one of the most wishlist titles on Steam. I think that's supposed to be one of the most wishlisted titles on Steam.
Scam accusations,
Scam accusations, refunds, controversy. This is the pixelated box cover. I don't freaking know.
Looks gray.
Looks pretty gray. Let's make this a little bigger. Looks pretty gray. Gray, nothing. How about Gray? Nothing. Tiana, nope.
Drats.
Martin? Nope.
Chris.
Chris. Nope. Zombie. It's not Stubbs. It's not Zombies Ate My Neighbors. It's not Plants vs. Zombies.
Fuck.
It's not Zombie U. Oh, it's also on consoles, not just PC. Shooter, adventure. Not World War Z. What if I just type in Z? Z1? Battle Royale? No, because it's a Battle Royale. It's not. I mean,
Zombies are my neighbors.
It's not Zombies Ate My Neighbors. It's not that. Zero Escape, Zombie U, Zone of the Enders, Zork. I don't know. I'm saying Z1. Nope, it's The Day Before. The Day Before.
Never heard of her.
Interesting that it says like
We could have changed.
fake trailers, PvPvE. So apparently
Did
this
you
is
see
just
the meme?
fake. Did I see the meme? Never heard of her?
That is a Fortnite car.
Maybe that's why it's a fake trailer. They just took
No,
it.
close that.
Close that?
There's a meme.
Was it when I went to The Day Before? When I searched it here? Oh,
Yes.
this. I see. The Day Before, the refund after.
Teehee.
I see. You get an eye for memes, Tiana. All right, last thing. High Guard. Nope, High on Life. We're doing High on Life. Bam. Single player game, not first person. Not a shooter or an adventure game or an action game or a sci-fi game or funny. Before 2022, well before 2022. Single player game. We're going.
WTF kind of game is it?
Good question. Good question. Sports? Could be
Pac-Man.
single player sports game. Pac-Man. Yes. Not Pac-Man, but it is a top-down view. Oh, Pac-Man is listed as an action game. Not an action game. Not an arcade game. Not a survival game.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. There's a lot of action and survival in Pac-Man. Like sometimes you are going left, and then you got to take like the action to like go up to get away from the ghosts, and then sometimes you eat the
I
ghosts.
fucking guess, bro.
That's why the voices are funny. All right, now what are we guessing? A single player game between this 40-year time slot we have here.
Think sport, I guess.
Single player sports game though? That's crazy. And it's top down, actually. Why would it be a top down sports title? Tecmo Bowl? I think you can play that 2-player. Hockey, but that's also multiplayer. Maybe not sports. Could it be like
Like the first Zelda.
the first it could be because I think that would be action
Is
though.
that top down?
It is, but I'm worried that that's an action and adventure game, and there's no action or adventure in whatever this game is. Maybe it's some sort of puzzle game. No, Tetris isn't top down. Tetris is like side view is what they consider it.
It's giving 8-bit.
I don't think you're wrong with that. Prison Architect. I don't see why not. Okay, wait. Oh, Prison Architect's multiplayer. So it's before 2015. We got something. It is either not an adventure game. We know that. Could be an indie game. Could be a strategy game. Could be a simulator game. Before 2015. Yeah, what is it, like Factorio?
Let's try some. Sims.
Oh, Roller Coaster Tycoon is the Tycoon games is a good one actually. Or Sims. Roller Coaster
True.
Tycoon. Nailed the year. 1999. Nailed the year. I don't know.
Hell yeah, boy.
We can get a clue in one more. So that's huge that we got the year. Not sandbox, not a business game. But it does seem to be either
Sims.
Simulator, strategy. Sims is 1999, isn't it? The Sims. Ooh, oh, it was 2000. Not The Sims. But wait, hold on. So it's not sandbox. It's not funny. So it could be either romance or fantasy. Oh, and it's not a simulator. So we know it's a strategy game. It could be a fantasy strategy, a top-down fantasy strategy, or a top-down romance strategy. I have a feeling it's not romance strategy from a top-down angle.
From 1999, though.
From 1999. Top-downs and only single player.
Some sort of porridge.
Porridge?
Porn.
Top-down pornography? Only see it from the top?
Lol.
Heroes, yeah, the Heroes of Might and Magic games. I can also do a clue. I'll do Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Guess. Nope, I'm doing a clue. What the? Oh, 4X. Okay, Fantasy 4X. I'm doing a clue. Show the clue. Strategy RPG. Single player strategy RPG from 1999. It's not Warcraft, because Warcraft was multiplayer. But I was thinking like a game like that. It's not like a Civilization game, I don't think.
I was barely alive.
But you were old ass born in the 1900s.
Gah. Ow.
Yeah. How do I feel? You know? How do you think I feel? Although now, just saying it like that, born in the 1900s, that at least puts us on the same level, the same playing field, you know? We're both born in the 1900s. All of us. All three of us. I don't know what that is, Martin. Oh, that's what I guessed.
Bro noseball.
Freaking no hints either. 1999, seemingly fantasy strategy RPG. Top down. Fallout? The first Fallout. Yes. Nope, that is sci-fi, not fantasy, you idiot. Oh, it it's made by one of these guys. I don't know who any of these guys are, who Edusoft, Interplay, or Black Isle are. Ah, that's my Panda Express gift
Planescape.
card. Planescape? I've heard of Planescape. Planescape. I've heard of Planescape. That guy's cute. Wow. 12 frames per second ass game. Look at this.
EP.
Yippee! Whoa. People probably went nuts for that back in the day. The graphics with that transformation, they were like, yo, that was so real. Yeah, people went nuts for that for sure. Games will never look any better than
It
this.
feels like I'm there with them.
Then they freaked out for Y2K. Yeah. I remember Y2K. How old does that make me? I actually remember that shit.
Old.
Whoop, wrong thing. Meow. Dinosaur. Yeah. I like dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are cool. All right, I'm done. I'm going to go see Terra and install Highguard on my PC.
Have fun.
I'll try. Thank you. You have fun. Like maybe see you later or something. It's Tuesday. I don't know. I don't know.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.